Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. I hope you're having a great afternoon. If you missed it a little bit earlier, I uploaded my very first Kringle Fall 2023 candle review. It was of Vineyard Harvest. That review will be linked in the description box right below this video, along with where you can purchase Kringle candles, as well as a discount code that'll save you 15%. The fall candles are not on sale yet. They did just drop a few weeks ago. And so typically the tradition with Kringle is to not have them go on sale for like a month or two after the release. And then subsequently after that, they do periodically go on sale. But for the time being, if you would like to order any of these, whether it be the large jar or the daylights or the wax melts. At the time of filming this, the wax melts are mostly sold out. So a lot of you I know picked up the wax melts when everything first came out just to be able to smell the fragrances. So a lot of those are currently still sold out. They will be restocked, so no worries. I know some people had concerns about the wax melts selling out so early and whether they would come back or not. Fall has yet to even start on the calendar, so I am confident that Kringle will be restocking the wax melts coming up. I will try to let you guys know in the community tab when those are restocked. But so we are tackling all of these fall reviews this week, as I mentioned in my first video. If you missed it, I am actually out of town on vacation this week and have all of these pre-filmed for you guys. So I have been burning them ever since I received them. The candles were sent as PR from Kringle, so I did not pay for them. All opinions are still my own. But a big thanks to Kringle for providing these so that I could share my thoughts with you guys. I have definitely found some new favorite fall scents with both the country as well as the regular Kringle soy candle line. So I'm really excited about the release this fall. And I think I actually like a lot of the fragrances even better than last year's fall releases. And that's saying a lot because last year they came out with some really great scents. So the first country candle we are reviewing is the Candied Orange, because honestly, I think this one I was most excited about personally. I have a big thing for orange scents, and I absolutely adore those chocolate orange balls that go on sale around the holidays. I know that there is like a major brand that does them, but I always buy the orange chocolate balls at Trader Joe's. They have them too. So I think Trader Joe's even does like a lemon version. I feel like I've seen a lemon one as well, but the orange is definitely my favorite. I love orange throughout the fall as well as into the holiday time. As you guys know, I'm a big, huge sucker for those orange pomander scents, especially around the holidays. So anything with orange, I am always excited to try out. Now this scent here is really interesting. It's kind of weird in a way, and we'll get to that in a second. But I do want to let you guys know that all of these candles have been through multiple burns. The thing about the Kringle soy formula, and I feel like it's even more so a thing in the country candle line for some reason, but they take forever to get through. Now, when they were in the paraffin formula, they also took forever to get through, but I feel like the regular Kringle soy candles burn a little bit faster than the soy formulation in these country candles. It looks like I haven't burned this for very long, but I am telling you, I have been burning this for days and days and days and hours each time. And I feel like I have barely put a dent in this. These are incredibly long lasting candles, And that can either be a really good thing if you like your candles to last a long time, or it can be kind of an obnoxious thing if you're someone who, you know, enjoys a scent for maybe like a week or two and then you want to move on. It's hard to do that with these country candles because they just take forever to finish. A lot of these, honestly, by the time that I get like a half or 3/4 of the way through, I end up putting them in candle crocks just to try to finish them. Because I do review candles for my channel, I actually prefer to get through my fragrances a little bit faster. But normal people, I think, are really going to appreciate the massively long burn time on these. So if you're looking for a long lasting candle, I'm gonna send you to the Kringle country soy candles, because oh man, are you gonna have these forever and a day. All right, so Candied Orange. I gotta tell you, I was so excited about this scent, and when I got it, it kind of smelled a little strange on cold sniff, and it got a little weirder after I started warming it. So let's go ahead and read through the fragrance notes, and I'll tell you where the weirdness I think is coming from. All right, Candied Orange. The yummy scent of sweet blood orange peel covered with chocolate. This aroma is then rounded off with gourmand scents of vanilla and lactonic milky notes sprinkled with crystallized sugar. The top notes are candied orange and bergamot. The mid notes are sugar glaze and blood orange. The base is chocolate, vanilla, and matcha. All right, so what does this smell like to me? First of all, there is certainly a orange note that is present. I'm not sure that my nose is sophisticated enough to be able to necessarily tell like a blood orange from a from like a navel orange, for example, especially in terms of home fragrance. I feel like, to me, a lot of like fragrance oils that are like in the orange family, they kind of smell the same to me. Now, a navel orange does in real life smell just a little bit different from a blood orange. I feel like a blood orange has a little bit more of almost like a tang to it, and maybe just a touch more sweetness. They're both delicious. I don't have a preference between the two. But when it comes to like the fragrance oils, I feel like orange just in general smells like orange to me. So I'm getting a really nice solid orange here, and I'm also getting a slight like candied orange. So there's definitely a difference between those two. The candied orange is just much sweeter than, you know, just the regular orange. So I feel like it's almost those two mixed to create like a really nice balance. I don't actually pick up much in the way of bergamot. Now, I do get a really nice chocolate note in here, and that is beautiful. It's more of, I would say, like a dark chocolate versus a milk chocolate. This is a sweet scent, but it's not overly sweet. I feel like maybe if they would have used like a milk chocolate, or more of like a milky chocolate, that it would have maybe been a touch sweeter. But I think they used just the right amount of sweetness in here. Now, what's throwing me off is that there is this kind of strange powdered note that's coming through to me. And it's almost like they dipped the chocolate orange maybe in like powdered sugar. It really, to me, kind of smells like somehow some powdered sugar got mixed in here. And I'm wondering if that's the matcha coming through. I don't feel like I've really picked up matcha per se in a lot of other candles. Really from any company. I have to admit that matcha isn't one of those notes that I necessarily look for, but I feel like I've probably seen it in some fragrance descriptions here and there from different things that I've tried over the years. But here, I think that matcha note to my nose smells like powdered sugar. And I actually don't like that aspect of this candle. And it's not that it ruins it for me, because I do still like the scent, but I wish maybe they would have left the matcha out. I think had they left the matcha out, this would have been like holy grail status for me. I think it's a nice, pleasant scent the way that it is. And by the way, I'm not the only one that smells that kind of powdered note. A couple of other people have also told me that they pick that up. So if you think you are going to be at all like turned off by that when it comes to this scent, I would probably encourage you to start with the Daylights, which it looks like the Daylights are in stock. Let me see here if the wax melts are. Yep, no, those are also sold out. Man, these wax melts sold out fast this time around. I think people are kind of like, when the new fragrances are dropping, they are preferring to start out with either the Daylights or the wax melts before committing to the larger jars, which I think is probably a good idea, especially with a scent like this, because if you don't think you're gonna like that like powdered, like, it really does smell like powdered sugar to me. If you don't think you're gonna like that matcha / powdered sugar note, then you know, you don't wanna be stuck with like a large jar, obviously. So definitely worth keeping that in mind with this one. That being said, I'm still a fan of this scent. Now let's talk strength and throw. This one is a solid performer for me in terms of strength and throw. There is still a little bit of variation with the country candles I'm finding. Some of them are a little bit lighter, so I do still think there is room for improvement here in terms of the formulation. When they switched over to the soy in the spring, I kind of expected that like the first maybe 2-3 releases would, you know, maybe need some tweaking. And I know that Kringle is really good about re-evaluating their formulas. So I anticipate that as they receive feedback, they're going to kind of circle back around, and, you know, maybe when they go to re-pour these, they might tweak some things here and there. That being said, this one here is one of those solid medium strength performers in terms of strength and throw, quite frankly. The strength of this one I'm going to put at about a 6.5, and the throw somewhere between a 6 and a 7 as well. It is absolutely a room filler. It does travel outside of the room, but it does not fill up the majority of the downstairs of my house. This one does pick up ever so slightly when you put it into a hurricane. I feel like Kringle candles don't necessarily need a hurricane, but they can amp up the strength and the throw a little bit if you need just a little bit more oomph from them. So that's definitely something to think about. There is a hurricane that I recommend from Target that works really well with not only Kringle candles, but larger candles like the Homeworx as well. So I will link that in the description box down below. But one more thing that I wanted to mention about the country candles, and I'm hoping that no one like tuned out early. I will also try to mention it in the beginning of one of my like upcoming country candle videos in the coming days. But you really want to trim the wicks on these, you guys. I actually had a little incident where I caused myself a little injury because I didn't think that I needed to trim the wicks on one of my country candles. I can't remember if it was actually this Candied orange, or maybe I think it was actually the Cinnabons one. But I could tell that the wicks needed to be trimmed, but I was like, oh, it's probably fine. Like, it didn't have like a huge mushroom top on it, but there was a little bit of like carbon ball residue at the top. Well, when I went to go take my lighter to the wick to light it, one of those little carbon balls popped off and actually hit me in my lower lip. And because it was like already kind of like on fire from me holding the flame to it to light that wick, that carbon ball had heated up. And I did end up getting a little blister on my lip that took a couple of days to heal. Now, I got really lucky in that it didn't hit me in the eye or anything. And this is not just like a Kringle candle thing. This can happen with a Bath and Body Works candle. It can happen with a Homeworx. It can happen with a Goose Creek. It can happen with any candle where you see that either mushroom top or carbon ball collection at the top. If you don't trim that off, those can, like, they almost like explode off the wick in a way sometimes. And if it hits you and it's lit, it's not gonna feel good. So please always make sure to trim your wicks. And admittedly, I'm kind of aggressive with how short I trim the wicks on these Kringle Country candles. I'm gonna give you guys a quick overhead view on this one just so you can see how short they are. This hasn't even pulled out completely, so keep that in mind. I just lit this before filming this video. With this length of wick, I have no problem getting a full wax pool, so this will pull out completely. But I just wanna show you how short I trimmed these wicks. Hopefully you can kind of see that there. Oops, sorry. Can you see how short those are? Like, they're not super long. Now, you don't want little tiny nubs. Like, I don't want to imply that you want nubs, but you definitely don't want very long wicks on these when you go to light them. So remember your candle's safety and follow the directions. I mean, usually on the bottom of the candles, there will be some directions on candle care. Just make sure that you're being safe. There could also be a situation of, you know, if you walk away after you lit the candle, those little carbon balls can bounce off and, you know, pop onto your couch. And again, this is not like a Kringle candle thing. This is like an every candle company kind of thing. Trim your wicks. It can be a safety concern. My lip is already healed up. It wasn't like super painful or anything, but it definitely, I was like, oh shoot. Lesson learned there, and I will not be trying to like skip that step again in the future. It was definitely an eye-opener for me. So just a little reminder there to remember your candle safety. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you picked up Candied Orange, please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. It's super helpful for people to read about other reviews as well. And subscribe if you're new. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.